morning and welcome to the Legit Real Estate Podcast. I'm coming to you from Route 117 in Warwick. This is TJ Trophy. I'm here as always with Holly Rigoli. Holly, good morning.
Good morning.
You look lovely as always. I see you're in your car too, and I suspect we're going to the same place at the same time.
We are, but I'm probably going to be a half an hour late because I only made it 15 minutes before I needed to pull over.
You're definitely going to be a half hour late. But
you know what? But that's
You know what? With this many people in a meeting, we never start on time. Our monthly meetings never start.
No, we never do.
No.
I went to a meeting the other day and we didn't start until 40 minutes after it was supposed to start.
Oh, was that the worst? Are you talking about my meeting?
Did you hold that meeting? It was about our training for our new company.
No. My roundtable, we went around to do introductions. You were there, but it might not have bothered you as much as bothered me.
Oh yeah, no, that was a good meeting.
It took us 47 minutes to get through the introductions. 47 minutes. Like, you're supposed to just say your name and how long you've been with the company. I don't need to know where you were born. We had one guy talk for 11 minutes. All you got to do is say your name, man. Keep it moving. We got things to talk about. Well, it all started back when my mother met my father. Like, come on, dude.
I think it was people needed to vent kind of thing.
There's no one here. Oh, I'm early.
That's because it doesn't start until 10.
That'll do it.
All right. We've had so you can tell I guess you can tell you're a realtor if you work. How much do we work from the car?
Like all the time? Like I live in here.
Yeah. So like yesterday we were trying to record. I did actually record. The episode before this one is actually me and my mom and telling some landlord stories. Yep, because we had some technical difficulties yesterday on my way back from my mom's chemo treatment. I pulled over in a Runnings parking lot and we were trying to record, but our signal was not the greatest. And today on the way to the office, I am now pulled over in a Tractor Supply parking lot. I want to proudly say that I've managed to pull over in both of those parking lots and not buy any chicks.
Well, when they see, you see a woman in a random trucking parking lot, I don't know. Word gets out, man.
It's not a trucking parking lot. Have you ever been to a Tractor Supply?
No, I don't drive trucks.
It's not a truck store. It's a farm store.
Oh, no, I don't farm either. No.
Yeah. No, you can buy pet food there. You can buy parts for your tractors and your, everything. And you can buy chicks.
Chicks?
You can buy, baby chicks. But I like to buy them in the summer, not the winter. Because then they have to be in my house. And I don't want them in my house. They're gross.
Are they?
Yeah, they can be gross. And then, not that I need any more. I think we have 17 right now, but I'll probably get more at the end of summer. We'll see.
Bless your heart. Do you know what today is? Today is the start of something very big. Do you know what it is?
It's St. Joseph's Day. We got to go get Zappalas.
It is St. Joseph's Day, but I wasn't going to say that. It's the beginning of the NCAA tournament.
Oh yeah, I'm going to some networking thing later where they're playing basketball stuff. Yeah. I'm only going because it's for networking.
Well, we have our business meeting, and then I have a home inspection on a 7-unit. So my kid had to go to school for the first time in his life. We take the Thursday of March Madness off so we can just veg out and watch basketball. So he was very distraught this morning. He was very upset because this is his day. So we're going to take tomorrow off. But you got 16 games today. You got 16 games tomorrow. It's very exciting.
I do not watch basketball, but both of my kids are home today. They are not feeling well. No? My daughter was home yesterday, but she had a concert. Okay. And so I emailed the teacher and I was like, so she's really sick, but if I can get her to sleep all day on the couch, then maybe she'll feel good enough for the concert. And he's like, listen, health is first and foremost. He's like, but I won't say anything if she comes. Technically, she's not supposed to. He's like, but I won't tell anybody if you don't. Right. And she really wanted to go to the concert. So
where she
did trumpet. I'll tell you what, this weekend was cool. She played with the Junior All-State Orchestra. So it's where you try out to be an orchestra or band, and among the whole state, I think she was number 4 in the state. But the way
Wow.
they divide it, they have like, so she was a second chair in orchestra. So I think they put the first 2 people, like one person's orchestra, one person's band, and then she's like the second chair in the orchestra, and that's from grades 7 through 9.
Hmm.
And so she actually got to do a duet, like with the number 1 chair, and it was really cool. She was very excited.
Uh,
And then she ended up getting sick and didn't go to school on Tuesday or yesterday, or no, was it? No, yesterday and today. And then my
okay.
son woke up sick too. So I was like, great, just great.
So you're gonna get it coming.
That's why I really didn't want to leave the house today. I was debating whether or not to do everything via Zoom. But I feel a lot better. I was feeling down yesterday and not great, but I feel a lot better now.
Got it.
We'll see.
We'll see.
So, so before I get into some stories that I found, do you have anything going on you want to talk about?
No, but I'll tell you this. Yeah, I guess I do have a story. When you're, if you have people submitting deposits online, right? You know how we do deposits online? Well, one of my client had a $25,000 deposit on a private on a property, and it went to the wrong brokerage.
How does that happen?
So there's about, I don't know, 25 Keller Williams in Massachusetts, and I'm working with a Massachusetts agent, which I couldn't even find the damn house listed because he only listed it on the Mass site, not on MLS. Like, good job, buddy. The house is in Rhode Island. But anyway, there's a Keller Williams in Braintree, and there's one in Plainville, and there's one here and one here. Well, anyway, when they sent my client the link for the deposit, it was a field that he couldn't edit, so he just assumed it was correct. You sent me the link from your brokerage. All it asked for was his name and email and his bank account number, routing number, etc. So he just filled out the potsy good, and the money went to a different brokerage. So I spent the better part of a week trying to get his money back because the other brokerage is in no rush to give it back. The party where we're buying the property, they want their money yesterday. They don't give a shit if you got. So he's out like 50 grand right now.
Crazy.
Yes, it is. So that's one of my missions today, and I have an inspection on that property. So it's all going to come to a head. But paying attention, man. People in our business, sometimes attention to detail like slips through the cracks. People let the stupid shit go, and in this case, it really put my client, unbeknownst to him, sent the money to the wrong branch, and not good. Not a good day.
That wicked sucks. That
Yeah.
wicked sucks. I had a question for you, not related to deposits, but when you go to an appraisal on one of your own listings.
Yeah.
Now, I used to come up with a CMA and give it to the appraiser, and the last few I've done, I haven't really needed to do that. The appraisers don't necessarily want it. They'll take it, they'll say thank you. But like, what are you doing when you go to an appraisal?
Nothing. I don't,
Okay.
I don't do anything.
I just had appraisal come up back short. I
Uh,
have 2 listings right now. I'm still waiting for the other one to come back. I'm praying the other one comes back okay. This one I didn't think I'd have a problem. It's a 3-bedroom, um, 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch in Coventry. There's nothing on the market that meets this. We ended up having 3 offers on the property. But I think all of them are over asking price, and we ended up going under contract for $20,000 over asking price,
yeah.
which I didn't think would be a problem. The appraiser came back at list price for the value. So now I'm like, the buyers agreed for me to rebut it. So I started going through, and yeah, there's not a lot of comps, and in the appraisal it says there's not a lot of comps available.
Yeah.
But and I still got to kind of dig into it. But for the hell of it, I ran the appraisal through AI, and it's like, well, your square footage is off by 900 square feet compared to what he used for square footage. So I have to look at the other comps that he used to see if they had finished basements in there, because I understand, like, if you can't count below grade as certain square footage and stuff like that. However, if he's comparing the house to other houses that have don't have finished basements and this one has a complete finished basement, like that's a big deal. And he left off a bathroom. How do you leave off a bathroom?
Oh, that's key. That'll get.
Yeah. So that alone, I know will bring the value up, but I gotta go. So that's one of the things I gotta do today. I haven't told my client yet because he's been a little nervous and I don't want to like cause any alarm or anything like that. And I think, well, it'll all work out, but I'm just like, it's frustrating. But when I showed up, I was surprised. This appraiser asked me, he's like, well, do you have a listing sheet for the property? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I gave him the one out of the packet, but I didn't come up with a packet. So then that same day I had another appraisal. And after my off-putting experience with this guy, I was like, oh my God, I'm like, I feel like I should have like an appraisal packet. And I came up with an electronic one and texted it to the guy like ahead of time. I'm like, I know, you're coming, here's the property info folder, info. And I mentioned a couple of the features or something like that on the property. And I filled out like a form. I used AI to come up with a form, but I was like, I haven't had to do anything on appraisals unless it's a unique property. I mean, I had
So
no idea.
when I first got into this world of like real estate, I was in the mortgage business, and we would tell the appraiser what we need on their way. So like we would do a refinance and be like, we need the value to be 480, and the guy would like take a picture of the outside and say it was worth 480, and that's how you end up in a housing crisis. So since then, they've kind of lessened up. But at first, there was a time when I first got licensed where they wouldn't even talk to you. They were like standoffish. Probably when you got licensed too. They were like assholes because they didn't want to be influenced on their value. They were taking a lot of heat. And that's a dying business anyway, because first of all, it's impossible to get in. Second of all, AI is just going to do it all. Like AI can do the comps better than you can. I don't give them anything. I'll generally try and slide something in, like a date or something new. I'll make sure I point it out so they know I know what's going on with the property. I'm not an idiot. But I never do. You know, it frustrates me when they're off and there's multiple offers because they'll say that doesn't make a difference. But what's a more truer sense of the market? What already happened, or the fact that right now 3 people want to buy this house for this price?
Right. So, I mean, the big key things I got to do is like I want to try to find a couple other comps. I want to look at the comps he used to make sure that the basements are actually finished basements. And I definitely am pointing out the fact that he missed using a bathroom because he adjusted the other comps based on my comp only having one bathroom, and there's a full bathroom downstairs in the basement.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't. Like he completely missed it, and it's in the listing that there's 2 bathrooms. So it's just frustrating.
People get off about the basement, but like it exists. It's there.
Yeah.
It's not worth nothing.
No, there's another whole family room down there. And I think like when I put the square footage on there, I put it on based on the tax assessor, which was showing more square footage, I guess, than something. I don't know. I have to have the time to actually focus on it. And because I'm running around all the time, like I did not get a chance to actually sit and go through. So literally while we're at the meeting today, I'm going to be working on that. Well, on the parts that I don't necessarily need to pay attention to as much, but I got to get that fixed and figured out. But at least I know I can get the value up at least a little bit. We're only off by $20,000 in the value. And so if I can show a couple of the other comps, but the rebuttal form says I can't use any comps outside of the area that they used.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think he stuck within a mile or under a mile for his comps. I can't use anything outside of the time frame he used. I think he might have only used 6 months. I'm like, well, you should be able to go back at least a year on properties.
I understand I understand their reasoning would be that, well, if these are the comps within a mile and then there's another neighborhood a quarter mile away that's outside of the radius, but I don't know, a mile's kind of short. A mile's not a lot of distance at all.
No, like I mean, in this kind of a concentrated area, a mile is not bad to use.
But then why?
But
comps then? Why'd you say there were no sales?
well, there's very few comps. But when I did my original CMA for the property, I did go up to almost 2 miles away. So when you go outside of that area, you are getting homes that are different. Like we needed to because there's not a lot of comps. But I'm telling you, like if somebody wanted to buy the property and I had multiple people put offers in on this property. I had, I think, 40 people show up, 40 groups of people show up for the open houses, the two open houses, and I had 3 offers over asking price. The Monday we did Saturday, Sunday open houses. By Monday, I had 3 offers over asking price. And then you're telling me that the property's not worth it.
I mean, come on. That speaks for
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
So
those guys
that's
hate,
what I'm dealing with.
and they hate being questioned. I haven't had to do it in a long time. They hate it. They take it personal. It's not personal, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you miss an entire bathroom, I did have one before in Woonsocket where we went under contract on the property. I want to say we were under contract for like 525, and the guy valued it for like 490. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, and I went through, he missed the fact that the whole house had been completely updated. He missed the bathroom. I ended up having someone else, like I rebutted it, he wouldn't change it. And we had somebody else come out and do the appraisal, and they valued it at 540.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, he was using comps from somewhere else that he shouldn't have even been using it for. So it's like, well, I'm gonna look at this a little closer, but it's frustrating. I don't want to get my client nervous.
I always felt like if I was an appraiser, if I was going to half-ass it, I would at least make sure I came in at value so no one has to recheck my work. Like, you can use shitty comps. If you give me the number I want, I really won't even look at the comps, honestly. I don't even look at them. I only look at the number. Now, if the number's wrong, now I got to go check your work, right? So if I'm going to be half-assed, I would just give you the number you want. Because the buyer wants the house, the seller wants to sell the house. What's the problem?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he's being half-assed. I'm just saying he did miss a bathroom.
I mean,
And I'm hoping.
if you can't count to 2, that's half-assed. You're saying there's 2 bathrooms, right? So he's
It's 2 bathrooms. It's in the listing sheet. I gave him that there's 2 bathrooms.
Yeah, that's half-assed.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of counting bathrooms, they're so kind in my town of Johnston that they doing all their new assessments this year.
Mm-hmm.
My house has 3 bedrooms, and they have me down as 4. So part of me wants to fight them and lower the value, thereby lowering my taxes. But the other part of me knows that if you let the government into your house, then you're fucked. So, because I have all kinds of shit with no permits, like I'm just living. Like
You do realize this is a public podcast, TJ.
I don't care. I really don't care. The town, I'll tell you what. If the mayor of Johnston's watching, like and subscribe, buddy. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment.
It doesn't have to be the mayor.
Um,
It could be somebody that doesn't like you.
I mean, half the people watching are probably just hate watching me. Anyway, like and subscribe, you too. But yeah, I don't know if I want to dispute it because when I go, now I got to bring them into my house, right? Because they're gonna want to count. And when they get in my house, they're gonna be like, "Well, where'd you get that? When did you do that? When did you do this?" You know, like
Yeah.
like I put a roof on, no permit. You know, like I live behind a gate.
So as a realtor, I feel like we need to emphasize with our listeners that that is not how you should do things, because when you go to sell your house later, you could have a problem.
Nah. I mean, although I did have one client. It's my cousin was married to this girl, and I love her. She was great. She left him for a woman, but that's besides the point. It was smoking hot too. And they bought a house together. And she's like, I give her my list of my inspectors that I like to use. Oh no, we're using my uncle. My uncle's an inspector. He's the inspector for the town of whatever town. All the guy did for a home inspection was walk around the house, make notes of things that were done, and then check it up against permits. That's all he did.
So he knew everything about houses, right?
What happens when we go to sell the house? They get a real home inspector and they find all kinds of shit. But yeah, the permit thing, I'm not really into that stuff in this case. I had to get an electrical permit. I had to get a new service a few years ago. I had to get a permit for that. The electrician wouldn't do it without it.
Yeah, I'm trying to be good in everything that I do that needs to have a permit. Well, you know what it was is when I was flipping houses, I had been using some people that were doing stuff, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, God forbid something happens. If I haven't pulled like an electrical permit or done things the way they're supposed to be done, then if something happens, I'm liable for that. Like, I don't want to like mess around with that stuff.
Yeah,
All right.
electrical
So,
is dangerous. I will say I would not probably do electrical work without a permit. But like a roof, a roof, just a roof.
well, replacing the shingles is one thing.
Yeah,
Restructuring and adding
yeah.
dormers or doing
But
constructional things.
it's just taking taking the shingles down, putting new ones up. Come on,
So did you do it yourself?
me? I'm scared of heights.
Mhm.
I don't even ski. I'm not going out. I'm not going on the roofs. Actually, I got a roofer coming to my house today. I got a couple of shingles hanging off in my roof, which is about, I don't know, 7 years old. I got shingles hanging off.
Because it probably wasn't done right because you didn't pull a permit.
You're
You
so
had your kids up there doing your roof.
nice. I had a couple. Never mind. I'm gonna leave the joke right over there.
Yep. You're leaving that right out of there.
Oh boy. So
And I'm
yeah,
gonna tell some stories to
tell
get
me a
you out of
story.
trouble.
Yeah, get me out of trouble.
All right, so I found some stories. I was looking up Am I the Assholes because we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
But I don't have the right format for this. So it came in as story. They're stories. So I'm gonna tell a little story.
Trying to see what time it is.
Huh?
I was just checking what time it is.
Oh, yeah, it's time for me to, if I got on the road now, I'd make it to the meeting on time, but I'm not getting on the road until the meeting starts. So I'm going to be doing Zoom for the first part of the meeting. If it even starts I'm betting it's not going to start for at least another 15 minutes after.
I'm sure. Sure.
All right. But you know what I will say? I have to say that being a realtor matches my timing on things because I have always been late for everything because I'm always working to the last second on something before I run back out the door. And I'm like, oh, wait, let me just do this one more thing. Oh, wait, let me just do this one more thing. So I'm always behind on stuff. And every single thing I go to, I want to say 90% of the realtors are late because they're all doing the same damn thing
Yep.
or running around like
Um.
crazy. But ironically, I'm married to a musician, and he's like, if you are on time, you're late.
Yep.
Like you need to be early to be on time. You
Um.
need to be ready. Like
Lombardi time.
he's, huh?
15 Lombardi time. It's called 15 minutes early.
Yeah. So you need to be ready to like you need to be sitting in your chair with your musical instrument ready to go and all your music up and ready so that at the time that it's supposed to start, you can pick your instrument up and go. Like that's his mentality. And me, I'm like, but I could have done five other things before running out the door
Instead
instead
of
of me getting there early.
sitting here with my guitar in my hand waiting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't like waiting for people.
he's right though. He's right.
He is. He is. And then obviously when we show up to listing appointments and stuff like that, I have to be, actually on time. But I also get mad when people show up at my house early because I'm not ready for people at if they're early. I'm ready. If I tell you to be there for 10 o'clock, I am literally like vacuuming the floor till 10 o'clock or getting it ready to go. I am not ready for you before 10 o'clock. I don't want
Did,
people to show up at my house
did
early.
you the Office where Michael Scott get? Did you watch The Office?
No.
All right, so there's an episode where they get invited to like some dinner at the CEO's house or something, and the dinner's at like, I don't know, 7 o'clock, and they wanted to make a good impression, so they got there early at like 1 in the afternoon,
Oh my God.
and the fucking caterers are pulling up, and the wife comes out of the shower with the towel around her head. Oh, it was such an awkwardly embarrassing secondhand, like cringe friggin' episode. Oh, what a great episode. Anyway, tell me it.
That is me every holiday. So I should know that my father-in-law shows up early for everything. And but I'll tell people, dinner is at 2 o'clock. The very last thing I do before people get to the house is take a shower because I've been cooking all morning. I've been cleaning the house. I've been doing all that stuff. So I jump in the shower and like I hear the dog barking and like the kids going out to the car. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this happened at, I think, Christmas. I'm like, I think it was Thanksgiving because they showed up like I think my dad and my father-in-law both showed up early and they're like, where's Holly? And I'm like, just getting in the shower. So I'm like, but it is what it is. All right. So I've got a story.
All right.
All right. A 31-year-old woman married for 2 years has a
Okay.
50-50 financial agreement with her husband.
Okay.
They moved into an apartment he claimed to belong to a family friend who was giving them a deal. She faithfully paid him $700 a month for her half of the rent. At a family barbecue, she overheard her mother-in-law bragging about how nice it was to get rent from Brian's place. It turns out the mother-in-law owned the unit and the husband was actually on the deed. He wasn't paying rent at all. He was just pocketing her $700 every month while she built equity in a home she didn't even know he owned.
Well, I mean, he's an asshole
Yes,
because
100%.
a couple of things. First of all, I don't know how you guys do it. Anyone listening, I don't know how you do it. But when you get married, you don't have your own money anymore. It's not mine, yours, and ours. It's ours. Everything is ours. Okay. I would never even think about owning a house and my wife not knowing. That's unfathomable to me. I wouldn't buy
Mm-hmm.
a used car without telling my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's just out of like respect for another person that we're like intertwined financially so much. And I do have friends that do mine, yours, and ours, and they sit down on the first of the month and they take the bills, they divide by two, and then one will write a check to another for this. And I look at them,
That's
what are you doing?
crazy to
You're not,
me.
you're not fucking business partners. Like you're married. Anyway,
That's
this guy, that
crazy
guy's
to
a
me.
scumbag. And just the fact that yeah, his he's on the D with his mommy. Yeah, he's a scumbag.
Yeah, it said when confronted, the husband claimed she never asked who owned the building. The internet went nuclear, labeling him as a financial predator rather than a partner.
Not only that, just as like you want to take $700 off your wife every month, like you're gonna make your wife pay you rent. That's just wrong. It's so bad. That's bad on every level because he's making
Yeah.
everything else.
Yep. I want to say, like, when we first got married, we still had our own accounts. It took a little while for us to
Yeah.
merge them together and stuff. But I mean, we've actually, June will make 20 years we've been married. So it's been a while, but we eventually got everything all under one. But what we found is my husband was paying the bills for a while, but he gets very stressed out. Like, I know how to play Monopoly better with our money and move money from one place to another and borrow money from the HELOC. And he would just get so stressed out. He's like, we just don't have enough money to pay the bills. I'm like, yes, we do. We just have to borrow it from here and then move this money over here. So he got so stressed out that I started doing it. So it's usually one of us that handles the bills at a time because it gets confusing if we're both trying to do it.
I think you know what she does? She'll set up. I don't know how to do like automatic payments for like the cell phones and shit. So she sets all that stuff up. But I'm big
Mm-hmm.
everything. I will say when you combine your money and you have a goal, it's so much easier to attack that goal if both of you are laser focused on that goal. Like, do you know who Dave Ramsey is? Big student
Yeah.
of Dave Ramsey. And I don't listen to him so much anymore because the calls kind of get predictable. But if we're like, all right, she had a student loan when we got married. When I say every single extra dollar we made went to her student loan, it wasn't like, well, I have a student loan too. No, that's not how it works, right? We're going to get rid of your loan and we're going to do it together and then we're done.
The snowball effect.
Yeah. And we really created a lot of good habits doing that. And once you're debt free, it's like, well, now we got a mortgage, but I'm not paying. We're aggressively attacking. Of course, my dumbass went and bought another house, so I'm starting over again. But the point is, this guy, he's not even taking her money to build equity. He's taking her money to go out with the boys.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I would
I can't
almost,
even imagine.
I would almost feel better if
That's,
he was like taking her money and putting it on the principal, and then you could be like,
yeah.
well, honey, it's for our future, and I know you wouldn't do it otherwise. But
Yeah,
no,
but she's not even on the house. They thought they were just renting an apartment somewhere.
she's hooking up the mom.
Yep.
uh,
Yep. I would be all set. Like, I think a relationship is based on honesty and trust.
yeah,
And if you are lying to your spouse, but he says, well, she never asked to own the house. Like, but if you are part owner of the house, if your name is on the deed, that is messed up. All right.
crazy.
I have another good one. Okay.
Oh,
All right. A tenant lived in a rental with a backyard that was essentially a concrete and dirt wasteland.
okay.
Being a passionate gardener, she spent years building raised beds installing a greenhouse, a small shed, and even transportable pizza oven.
Okay.
The landlord decided to sell the house and used professional photos of her lush green oasis to hike the asking price. When she moved out, she spent 3 days dismantling everything, loading the pots, the soil, the beds, and the shed onto a truck. She left the yard exactly as she found it, a dirt lot. The landlord was livid because potential buyers walked away when they saw the barren yard they'd seen in the photos, instead of the yard they saw in the photos. But the consensus is that if it's not bolted down and the tenant paid for it, it's a fixture of their own making. It doesn't belong to the property. What do you think?
Tough one. That's more tough than it sounds, because on the start, your first reaction is good for her, right? That's my first reaction is,
Mhm.
all right, take your shit and go. But there are some things that if a tenant does it, like I had a tenant redo the kitchen on his own expense. And I mean, he's a contractor. It's gorgeous. It's way better than when he started. I don't think he can rip that shit out and put the old ones back when he leaves. I just feel like that would be wrong. I just feel like that'd be wrong. The yard is a little bit different. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I think I
So here's how I look at it. In all of my leases, it says that if you are going to do any work on the
yeah,
property to the property, you need to get written permission from the landlord to do that work.
okay,
So when you get the written permission from the landlord to do that work, it should be identified in that agreement what is expected when you move out.
right.
Not that I've done that, right? Like my mom is one of my tenants and she has planted so many beautiful things. Like that property looks really nice and stuff like that. I mean, if she were to ever move out, like I wouldn't want her to, I mean, if she wants to take some of the plants, that's fine. But I'm expecting like that stuff stays, like if a tenant wants to do something, I've had a lot of my family members are very handy, and any apartment they were in, they've like updated the apartments and stuff like that. But you're not you're not going to change the cabinets and take the cabinets with you, out in the yard. If you plant perennials,
Yeah.
you might want to take the perennials with you. I've had clients of mine that sell houses that want to take the perennials with them. I'm like, I wouldn't take all of them, but like I would, you can, perennials multiply, take a
More than
couple.
one can take a tree. I've had more than one. Like,
Really?
yeah,
Like a
take
big tree?
not so big, but I guess I don't know much about like shit like that, but like fancy ones.
Hmm.
Like apparently one of the trees I was gonna cut it down, and the guy at the street was like, no, that's like an $1,800 like Chinese tree. You don't cut those down. Like you save them.
Hmm.
Okay. But I guess if I was a tenant and I knew enough about it to buy it, I'd be like, well, that's my tree. I'm taking my tree.
Yeah. I really think that you need to have lines like
Yeah.
that drawn up before, like if you're a tenant on a property, so this is for tenants and for landlords, you have a written agreement with your landlord that says, yes, you are allowed to do this. Here's the condition. You have to either leave it or you have permission to take it when you go. So that
Right.
way the expectations are in writing. But
The guy overplayed his hand
garden,
with all the pictures of the yard, though. He overplayed it a little bit.
yeah, he did. But a shed, the greenhouse, all that stuff. I mean, that stuff's expensive.
It is. And
So
it's
if I was a tenant, I would 100% want to take that. That's not for my landlord. That's for me.
I agree with you. I do
All
agree.
right.
So I believe our broker has a new vehicle, and he has a dealer plate on it because it's new. So I'm wondering if he's going to get rid of his plate. I mean, he's probably going to get rid of his plate. That was the name of our company. His license plate was.
Yep.
I wonder if he's going to get a new one. Oh, wow. Cool color he picked, too. You'll see when you get here.
We have to rebrand. We have to change all our stuff within 30 days.
Man, what a pain in the ass it is, too. I didn't even do my voicemail yet. I got to do that right when we get off.
I don't have my brokerage in my voicemail.
No?
I do not. Mm-mm.
It's Holly Rigoli.
I just have it Holly Rigoli.
I want to
But
see what
there's so much stuff. When you're going through a transition, so for those that don't know, we were kind of shocked, shocked to change. Not that we were bought out, but we are going with a bigger brand that's more recognized, and it's gonna be a lot of positive changes, but it's a lot of changes, and we've got to do a lot of things, reskin our signs,
Yeah.
redo our web pages and all that other stuff.
I know
But
that I tried to hide the company from our stuff, but like I had, I don't know, 10 shirts with the other company.
oh, I actually wearing mine. I have this nice jacket that I usually wear in the spring and the fall, and I have to see if I can get somebody to redo over it.
I have a black hoodie. It's my favorite hoodie. I'm still wearing that thing. I don't give a shit. I'm wearing that in the winter, and no one can stop me.
No, it's
No,
still,
but
it's all
today
good.
I had to go with a button-up shirt today. Like I feel like a middle-aged white guy.
think I think you might be. I think you might need to start accepting that. I've started to accept that, I'm a middle-aged woman, right? Last night, it's funny, I was sitting on the side of my daughter's boyfriend's dad, and he's a little bit older than me, but we were talking about like the blizzard and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, like we're around for the blizzard. And I was like, yeah, my friends were, I made some kind of comment. He's like, yeah, he's like, but I remember the blizzard of 78. He's like, I was 8 years old. And I'm like, I wasn't even born yet for another 4 years.
It is funny when we go around the room sometimes, and they'll be like, "I got my real estate license in 1976," and it's like, dude, that's crazy. Anyway, we're winding down. I gotta get to our meeting. I'll save you a seat. Where can the people find us?
We are the Legit Real Estate Podcast. We would love to share your stories and have you on if you would like to come on our show. And if you would like to, you can email us at TheLegitRealEstatePodcast@gmail.com. We are on social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and then everywhere you can find a podcast. If you can't find us where you listen to your podcast, shoot me an email and I'll make it happen. So
Like
like, subscribe, follow.
it works. It messes with the algorithm. People
Yeah. So
like you get more.
so
We're entertaining for a half hour a week.
yeah. And then but we need you to like and subscribe and follow and just do all those good things. So click those
Okay,
like button.
I'll see you in
Have a
about.
great day. All
Bye.
right. See you then. Bye.